Alright, hi Dante's friends. We're waiting here. Oh, there's Meg, just about 5 minutes late.
You're just 5 minutes late. Don't worry about it. Fortunately, we're about to leave.
We're waiting on a diva, which is a boy.
Correction, we're about to leave Micah.
We are about to leave Micah because I was ready to go at 9:30. It's now 10:30. That means I woke up at 8:30, so that's an hour I could have been sleeping.
Micah, we're about to leave you.
It's a video, right?
We are here at the Swinney Pharmacy.
Oh, I'm okay. Thank you.
We're fine, thank you. And here are my lovely ladies. And we are here for the reading of the Dubliners. And we're going to be reading this book. And yeah, and we're waiting for our two guy friends to come, but this is a part of the vlog, this is a part of the adventure of the day. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day.
Cheers.
One scene takes place in this shop.
Right.
And Ulysses is all about one day in the life of Dublin, 16th of June 1904, and the central character is Leopold Bloom. And Leopold Bloom, around 10:30 in the morning, he comes into this shop. And this looks exactly as it was in 1904, except for the electric lights and all the second-hand books. And that guy there behind you, the black and white photograph up above you, yeah, with the beard, his name is Mark Swenny, and he was the pharmacist in here in 1904. So
Wow.
Leopold Bloom wasn't here because he's a fictitious character, but James Joyce was obviously in here, yeah. And while Leopold Bloom is giving instructions to the pharmacist as to what goes into a lotion he once made up for his wife Molly, he's looking around him at all the stuff in the shop, and there's thoughts going through his mind about, he's looking at all the bottles of poisons and medicines and such like. And then he looks around and he sees a bar of lemon soap, and it's in a cake shape. And he says, it's a cake of lemon soap. He raised the cake to his nostrils, sweet lemony wax, and he buys the cake of lemon soap, and he carries that around in his pocket for the rest of the day. See? So that's why we have lemon cake.
Lemon cake. Oh my god.
The young men whom she met were ordinary, and she gave them no encouragement, trying to console her romantic desires by eating a great deal of Turkish.
A few chords struck on the piano, and a few notes of a man's voice singing.
He stood still in the gloom of the hall, trying to catch the air that the voice was singing and gazing up at his wife. There was grace and mystery in her attitude, as if she were a symbol of something. He asked himself, what is a woman standing on the stairs in the shadow listening to distant music?
Gabriel heard his wife answer yes and saw her come down towards them. A few steps behind her were Mr. Bartell Darcy and Miss O'Callaghan. "Oh, Mr. Darcy," cried Mary Jane, "it's downright mean of you to break off like that when we were all in raptures listening to
And I
you."
read this morning in the newspapers that the snow is general all over Ireland. I love the look of snow," said Aunt Julia sadly. "So do I," said Miss O'Callaghan. "I think Christmas is never really Christmas."
What is the name
unless
of
we
that
have-
song you were singing? It's called The Last of Ogrim, said Mr. Darcy. But I couldn't remember it properly. Why? Do you know it? The Last of Ogrim, she repeated. I couldn't think of the name. It's a very nice air, said Mary Jane.
The sky
I'm
seemed
sorry
to
you
be
were not.
descending. It was slushy underfoot, and the only streaks and patches of snow lay on the roofs, on the parapets of the quay, and on the area railings. The lamps were still burning redly in the murky air, and across the river, the palace of the four courts stood out menacingly against the heavy
She was walking
sky.
on before him, and Mr. Bartell Darcy, her shoes in a brown parcel tucked under one arm, and her hands holding her skirt up from the slush. She had no longer any grace of attitude, but Gabriel's eyes were still bright with
their
happiness.
secret life together burst like stars upon his memory. A heliotrope. A heliotrope envelope was lying beside his heartless cup, and he was caressing it with his hand. Birds were twittering in the ivy, and the sunny web of the curtain was shimmering along the floor. He could not eat. Experience since
No, you have to mark your eyes. This girl. We're not just talking about.
Mark your eyes.
If you have to go drastic, I go.
Ooh, no. No, I already shut the thing down.
Oh, they even have my lotion too, y'all. This is crazy. This is Phil. We are at Boojum's, and I am about to eat a burrito. This is just like Chipotle. Phil, he's cooking us. This is Phil, and he's cooking us an Irish dish. What are you cooking, Phil?
Bangers and mash.
Bangers. That's a banger. Beans and mash. So we're excited. This is everybody here. How did you guys like the bangers?
Dante, they were amazing.
It was so good. Oh my gosh, look at this. Empty plates, sort of. Here's our cook right here. Thank you.
Phil, you're fabulous.
Oh my god, so good! Okay, well, I'm not. Are there any more over there? Yes!
We had a really great time, and we're gonna continue to eat.
Okay.
New Orleans girls right here. So.
I heard him ask me
Are you taking a video?
Double check that. Why not even pay for it?
We are going to host, and there's a lot of us, and we're excited. So let's see, what castle we're going to? Malahide Castle. So we're excited.
Straight ahead of us is the IFSB, Irish Financial Services, and most of the world's banks and insurance companies.
Been awake since like
Hi! So, like I said, we're on our way to Hoth, and we're going to the Malahide Castle tour. And we are sitting on one of those cool red buses and just enjoying the scenery. I wish you guys could be here to see it. I just feel so blessed to be here. I can't stop smiling. But I'm here with my roommates and all of my friends, and I'm sure we're gonna have a great time. So come join us for our adventure. Whoa! He's gonna give it to us. That's why I don't like my, having an influx of pictures, and so this. But we're going to the
Just before we go up though, I'm just going to point out the fire exits. They're in all the rooms we're going to go through. Just in case the fire alarm goes off, don't panic, just follow me to the nearest exit and we'll exit together, okay? I'll leave this a safety point. Thank you, girls. Thank you. Waiting for your grip. Thank you.
Yeah.
His name was Richard Talbot, and he came over from England with King Henry II. Now, King Henry II would have come to Ireland to claim lands for himself. There would have been a couple of local chieftains fighting amongst themselves, and he would have come over and taken the land off them. And he would have left his trusted knight here, Richard Talbot, to look after things for him while he went back to England. Now, this would have happened back in 1174. Richard initially would have built himself a wooden castle not far from here, but after a while that wouldn't have been substantial enough. So he would have built himself a stone tower. And we are actually standing in that original stone tower right here in this room. So it's the room above us. Straight away you would have noticed the difference in the two rooms. Well, we've left the dark medieval times and we've now gone into a brighter, more colourful time. We're now in the 18th century and this was the time of money and wealth. And it was the time in the Talbot's life that they wanted to show off their wealth. So how they did that was in their furnishings. So we've got our mottled Italian marble fireplace. Above that we've got a mirror designed by two Irish furniture makers. Their names were John and Francis Booker, and they used to have a workshop on Essex Quay in Dublin city centre. Now the reason why the mirror is so high up was to reflect the light. It wasn't for viewing yourself in. If you wanted to view yourself, you viewed in the likes of the writing bureau over there. Now this room here is called the small drawing room. And drawing room meant, the meaning behind drawing room was to draw people together, bring people together. And the Talbots would have gathered, met their small group of inner circle of friends in this room. And they would have sat here by the fire. And this would be the bell pull that they would have used to get the maid up to bring the light for the tea or the heat for the fire. Okay? There might even have been a piano here at different stages. Okay? The chandelier is English crystal. The plasterwork is all rococo design, and you can see there's birds coming out of it, fruit and flowers throughout it all. Now it's done in quite a masculine theme, the plasterwork in this room. One of the ladies went to the coronation of George V, Isabella Gurney Talbot, and it was in Westminster, and it was you were allowed to take home a souvenir from it, and the coronation of George V, and she brought home the chair she sat on. The chair is just there in the corner, has a little plaque on the back of it. Okay. All the pictures. drawing room, and this is where they would have had their balls and their parties. Now when they had a ball or a party, they generally move all the furniture to the side of the room to make way for the guests. The doors here be left open and the continuation of the two rooms. Now one of the ladies was renowned for having lots of balls here. Her name was Isabella Gurney Talbot, the same lady who brought the chair back from Westminster. And she had a party here in 1905 and she kept a diary of it. And in the diary it states that she spent £100 on the food and entertainment for that night. Now that at the time, in 1905, was a gardener's wage for the whole year. She also spent £13 on champagne that night. And that at the time was a scullery maid's wage for the whole year. So these were big lavish parties they had, and the rest of the year they lived very much within their means. This couch here is called a confidant. Now, no single lady was allowed to sit on her own with a gentleman friend without a chaperone. And the chaperone was generally an elderly aunt. She'd sit there and be listening. The seat was faced that way, so she could hear everything that was going on there. Okay? This room here is called the Great Hall, and this is the second oldest part of the castle. It was built in the 14th century, and our old room is just behind there. And this is where they would have had the banquets, but it's also where they had breakfast. And on a day-to-day basis, all the Talbots would sit down here and have breakfast together. And things they liked to eat were bacon, sausages, eggs, duck, chicken, cod, woodcock and sardines and toast. Typical Irish breakfast, yeah? We all had that this morning. Very interesting. Well, no, it's not. We like the first three things, but that's what the Talbots had, and that's what they would have had on a day-to-day basis. Now, there's one famous breakfast that they all sat down, and 14 of the Talbots did not return that day. And that was the day of this battle. And it's the Battle of the Boyne, and it's illustrated here by Jan van Wyck. 1690, the battle is between two kings. Down here on the right, we've got William of Orange. There on the right. And he was fighting against, on the far side, King James II. There's only one scary person there, and he's right above your head. That's the only scary person there. Yeah. Anyway, I'd love to tell you about all of the ghosts, but if I did that, we'd be here all night. And then we'd probably see some, okay? So I know some of you would like to do that, but I don't, okay? So I'm not going to do that.
Nope.
So instead I'm just going to tell you about two of them. And the two I'm going to tell you about are Miles Corbett and Puck. Now Miles Corbett came here to Malahide Castle in the 1600s. So a scary guy here, Oliver Cromwell, came to Ireland. And he asked the Talbots to move out of the castle, and they did. They moved down south of Ireland, and he put in his lieutenant here, Miles Corbett. And he was here in the castle for 10 years, until he got done for treason. And he was hung, drawn and quartered in London for that. But on the day he was killed, the 19th of April, every year since he's been seen galloping up and down on the avenue outside. He's on his horse. His horse was called Puka. And that's the Irish for ghost. So if you want to see Miles Corbett, come back on the 19th of April. He'll be galloping up and down on the avenue. It's a bit chaotic, we're all trying to get into work, and he's galloping towards us. It's not a pretty sight, because remember, he has been quartered. Yeah? Our other ghost, and the most resident ghost in the castle, is called Puck. Now, Puck was the castle jester. He's a guy around 4 foot in height, with white hair and a white goatee beard. Yes, he is handsome, yes. Yes, he's handsome, yes. And he lives in that room over there. See the little door down there? Puck lives in there, and that's actually one of the old original turrets. And it goes all the way up, past the white door, up to the very top. And even though Puck was the castle jester, he'd often be up at the very top of the castle looking out of the turret to see could he see anybody coming to invade the castle. And of course, if he saw somebody, he used to get down to the white door here on the minstrel's gallery, run out, tell everybody, and be the hero of the day. But what happened to Puck was that he fell in love with this visiting maid. Of course, she would have nothing to do with him, His heart was broken, he went mad, and he hung himself right there over the gallery. Now, to this day, he likes to hang out in this room, and if he's not here now, he's in there looking out at us. Okay? Now, the thing about Puck is that lately he has actually been showing himself a lot. His heart is not broken anymore, and he's now on the lookout for a new love interest. So girls, be careful, because you might be the chosen one. Now, I do have to say he has a preference for blondes. All the blondes, you gotta be careful. Okay? Well, anyone with dark hair is okay. Yeah? And of course, the boys are okay. That's actually the end.
Watch the child, Jordan.
Wait, there's no way out.
How did they get?
Was it behind the cafe? Maybe there was like behind and around.
I'm over it. Hey Jordan, what did you like about the castle?
That is really on the spot, Dante. I really liked the
Talk louder.
history.
What did you guys like?
I love the toys. They were awesome.
I wasn't ready.
Same.
I liked all the old furniture. Oh, I know what I liked. I liked the library with the hand-painted wallpaper.
Ghost midget boyfriend.
I liked it all, as usual.
Oh,
We are just having some drinks, waiting for the bus to come, and then we're gonna head on home back to Maynooth. That's why it's called video editing, because you can piece all of the good stuff together. Yeah.
Megan's just like.
And we're watching the Olympics. Go France!
It's probably the only Olympics we've seen.